You haven't read the information, right?
I have read
so you don't know anything.
I know it, of course. Because I'm a genius. This just comes up.
It's just
I just need
as
the time.
Many geniuses, you will be only recognized after your death. I was on Van Gogh exhibition recently, and it
will happen before.
You think?
But in a different field. Don't say that.
You said
Take
that.
It back.
I didn't.
Okay.
Hi, it's Kamila.
And Jürgen.
And today we are going to record another episode of AI.
But not just any AI, but AI that matters to you.
Cheesy. Cut.
Okay.
So today we're going to talk about why AI is becoming so popular.
So why is
Back
that?
to you. I'm just asking questions. So why do you think AI is becoming so popular right now? Is it just another fad? Is like a hype, like we had big data, VR, IoT? There are some cycles you would think, and right now it's AI, or it's something else.
I would say there are two factors to that. On the one hand, AI finally has matured into real products that can be put on the market. Mm-hmm. But maybe more importantly, AI finally has become an option to really solve some of the most complex problems of our times.
So what has changed?
There are several reasons why AI now at this point in time is becoming so popular.
Mm-hmm.
First, we can build upon all the work that was done in the big data and analytics domain. So finally, with the power of the cloud, we have highly scalable data storage and data processing capabilities, cheaper, faster, more comprehensive.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, this also allowed us to develop much more complex AI algorithms and models,
mm-hmm.
As they are needed as our problems and systems get more complex.
Mm-hmm.
And so
basically, we needed all this time to collect enough data so the algorithms are accurate.
We needed the infrastructure and the tools to really execute this kind of AI. Mm-hmm. We needed to develop the more complex algorithms that only now, let's say, can be feasibly executed.
Mm-hmm.
But then the third part is, in order to execute and bring complex AI to life, you also need to have even more relevant data that you can feed into such an AI, mm-hmm. because AI is not like magic or a fixed algorithm that you write and as a program, and it will always execute and always know what to do. No, it's a statistical, empirical approach. And for that, you need to gather data and lots of meaningful data about those effects or insights that you actually want to obtain. And so that leads us automatically to the point that we need to be able to capture or generate the meaningful data in an efficient way, and able to train and bring those AIs to fruition. How do you say that? Fruition. To be born. Okay. Well, so we need more meaningful data to train more complex, powerful AI.
Mm-hmm.
This we can achieve in different ways. One is we have more comprehensive and automated test setups mm-hmm. that generate the data. But typically that's not enough. For instance, in autonomous driving, we will never have so many test labs where we will get all the mileage and the data that we need. So the solution is, and what has become just recently available to us, that we extend our sensory capabilities to monitor real world systems. So we are now able to gather data in real life situations from the systems as they are operating out in the field. And finally, which even is maybe even more important, even with relatively small quantities of real world data that we gathered, there are now a lot of work has been done in the field of fabricating additional data. Mm-hmm. That means we synthesize data from real world data by modifying it in many different ways. In the automotive space, this is easily also visible. We can have one scenario in a simulation that we run through, but then we can, for instance, change many parameters, road, climate effects,
traffic factors, basically.
Different factors. So that means from a small set of relevant data, we can generate a multitude of relevant test cases and feed them into our AI. If we had to generate all this data in a real test setup, both the costs with regard to time and resources would not make such an
it wouldn't be good investment, right?
Yeah, would not be an investment, and maybe we would never even finish the process.
No,
so to sum it up, I mean, we have more efficient ways of collecting data in test setups. We have more sensory, or we have better set solutions to capture data in the field during a normal operation, and not just in one, but let's say to connect whole fleets of devices or machines or vehicles and get the data, which brings us to the critical mass. And where this is difficult, we have means of generating artificial data, synthesized data, that brings us to that level that we need, that we can train our AI, and to train the AI in as broad a range of relevant scenarios as needed.
You just said that we are not going to be so technical, and you actually are. So
it's in my blood.
Yes. So I guess in a way it's more acceptable, more like you can see more excitement in a society, right? Because there are so many cases of proven value.
Yes, definitely. And now that we are on the brink of moving from manual driving, for instance, to autonomous driving.
Again to the
No, it's just a nice example. You all know that working with an autopilot, I mean, that's a way how you suddenly can use a really advanced AI for your own purposes. And I mean, come on, that is exciting, isn't it?
So exciting.
Yeah, I truly think.
And some other examples, because...
Okay, but this is, let's say, here maybe we already get into a domain of complex AI. Now, let's draw the wheel back.
Exactly, like how it all started. It was, I guess, started from using AI in cases of like low risk, right? So it was, and the first wave was mainly about internet applications, like software applications, right?
Right, like natural language processing, translation software. And that's probably today where we also have even products that we can use for free. There's a number of...
Nothing is for free in this world.
Okay, like that. There's now a number of really advanced service in the cloud that we can use for translation from different companies. And it's available at the tip of our fingers. And it really, I think, makes like a huge difference in our daily lives, especially when you work with language, writing, translation.